Welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name is Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching us today. We're at Cloud Expo 2011 in Santa Clara, California, and on our program is David Roller, the co-founder of Cloud Key. David, welcome.
Hi, Rich. Thank you very much for having me here today.
It's our pleasure, and you have something very innovative that I was happy to hear about just before we got on set, and I was hoping, why don't you take us through what it is?
Okay, what we've done is we've actually created a means for you to form and build your own personal cloud. And what we've done is created a key so that you can unlock and construct and form your own personal cloud. With your personal cloud, you have access to your information from your devices in a single, simple view.
So, if I happen to have a computer in my home and I want to have that computer function as part of my cloud, how would I go about doing that?
Okay, very simply, you would just plug this key into that computer. You would link all of the documents on that computer that you would want to access from anywhere. It is then entered into our database, and that database is stored on this key. You remove it from that computer, plug it into any other computer. When the Keystone comes up, it will form or load a virtual drive, which we refer to as the V drive, to the operating system. Any application you want to execute on that computer will then find those documents on the V drive and will access them and operate just as though they were on that local computer. We do not need to make copies and move copies around the internet or around to your devices. We actually access the original document.
Okay, so how would this compare to a cloud product, a personal cloud product from some other companies, like maybe an iCloud or an Amazon?
Okay, well, an iCloud and the Amazon products store a copy of your information. They move it to their servers in the cloud and hold a copy there and then provide access to that from their cloud or from their service. What we've done is actually try to solve, and we've done it actually, is solve the more difficult problem, which was giving you direct access to your items and not require a copy to be held off-site on a service provider. So you can use our product to actually store, access your information on the devices you choose to leave them on. As well as we have essentially, through our database structure of creating the virtual cloud, unlimited ability for you to link and store or access documents. So effectively with this device, you could be pointing to 3 terabytes worth of information and have immediate and direct access to that if you had it stored within your personal cloud. So you're not paying for that storage space up in the service provider.
Now, one of the questions I'm sure people are thinking is, you've got a USB key. How does that work with a smartphone or a tablet?
Okay, with the smartphone or the mobile devices, what we're doing is implementing a web interface for you. So we have a web portal that you can access through our upgraded service, the business or a professional service. We provide web-enabled access from there, and we access your database then. So you can either have this plugged in someplace, or in that case, you may not even have your database or your key with you. So from an internet interface or a web interface, you can log in and identify yourself. Then your database is accessible to you from that interface. We can access all your documents and everything that's online in other locations, just as though you were sitting there with it on that computer.
So in some cases, somebody who may be using a remote desktop type solution, like Go to My PC, could theoretically use this service instead to remotely access their files.
Correct, because what we're doing is we're not actually requiring or implementing a remote desktop where the application is running on a remote computer and you're just seeing the screen. We're actually allowing the resident application on the device that you're interacting with at the moment physically to access the file and that information. When that application finishes, that file is returned and stored in the original location. So for example, if you're at work, or say you're down the beach and you remember, oh, I need to modify or make a change to that report that I was working on for Monday, you could access that. It was sitting on your home computer, make the modifications to the document. When you're finished it, that file will now still be on your home computer, not on a laptop or the remote device where you actually manipulated it with. We return the document to the original location. So we're not creating copies. So effectively we have no sync requirement, because sync is done in real time. by manipulating and managing the original parent document.
Now, in terms of your pricing structure, how does that work?
So the way we're going to introduce the product here, when we just launched the beta for limited evaluation to some of the early adopters and the industry leaders, but when we release the product, there'll be a free version of the software that you can manage, and we'll be managing up to 5 gigabytes of content with. And if that's acceptable for you, then you can have your own personal cloud, and there's no cost for that. But then if you need some additional features or more capability, or want to be able to manage a larger, more content than 5 gigabytes, we have a professional version. Right now we're looking at offering that at a one-time cost of $49.95. And you'll have access to our product to manage your personal cloud.
How do I get that key?
Right now, you would go to our website, and there'll be a registration button there. You would register for the beta download evaluation, and we'll send you an email confirmation back with a link to the downloading part of our website. The product would download, and you would install it on a USB device and work with it.
Fantastic. And so we should just point out that because you're not storing the data, that you could work with a backup provider, like a customer could have a Mozy Pro or a Carbonite or whatever else that they want to use, right?
Exactly, Rich. What we've chosen is to not get into the storage providing market. There's a number of excellent companies out there that provide fantastic service. What we do is allow you to work with that storage provider that you're comfortable with and incorporate those locations. You could have multiple locations. You could have a piece up on Amazon, a piece over in Rackspace, a piece in Carbonite. And using our system, you could store portions of your personal cloud into those service providers.
So you're going to eventually connect with all the service providers?
Correct. We would provide an API, direct API interface through our product into that service provider. So to you, it's nothing more than dragging and dropping a file into a folder that you've mapped essentially or have pointed to or assigned to say be stored up in Amazon or to be stored down in Carbonite.
So really we're thinking, one way to look at this is just a virtual cloud of all the other clouds that you have, right?
But one of the keys to that is, let's say you decide to store something in Amazon. What you can do is you can store everything on Amazon encrypted, but the key is here.
Right.
So if you don't have your key plugged in, nobody can steal or maliciously access your information because you hold the encryption key up to for that cloud stored files.
Fantastic. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you very much, Rich. Appreciate it.
This is great.